I want to begin by applauding President Biden's historic nomination, since we're talking about DOD, of Admiral Lisa Franchetti to serve as the Chief of Naval Operations, the highest-ranking officer of the United States Navy. Admiral Franchetti has a tremendous amount of experience at sea and ashore, including numerous high-level policy and administrative positions. If confirmed, Admiral Franchetti would be the first woman to be a Pentagon service chief and the first female member of the Chiefs of Staff. Unfortunately, Republican Senator Tommy Tuberville has created a national security vulnerability by actively obstructing all pending promotions for generals and admirals in the U.S. Armed Forces to limit women service members' access to reproductive health. The Senator's blockade is affecting more than 250 leaders waiting for promotion and their families, including those of Admiral Franchetti. The Pentagon rightly implemented new policies to effectively acknowledge the reality of the military's evolving makeup, but Senate Republicans have shamelessly hijacked that nomination process and threatened our country's national security to forward their agenda. According to the Secretary of Defense, Lloyd Austin, and I quote, "This indefinite hold harms America's national security and hinders the Pentagon normal operation. The United States military relies on the deep experience and strategic expertise of our senior military leaders. The longer that this hold persists, the greater the risk the U.S. military runs in every theater, every domain, and every service." Furthermore, 2 weeks ago, Republicans here voted almost unanimously to pass an amendment in the NDAA that unequivocally limits service members' access to abortion services. It is particularly disingenuous for Republicans to demand that military leadership fix the recruitment problem while simultaneously trying to force the Pentagon to enforce draconian policies that compromise women's reproductive autonomy, deny medical care for transgender troops, and eliminate diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives specifically created to improve that recruitment. To quote the former senior advisor of the Secretary of Defense, Bishop Garrison, "When the military gets recruits from diverse backgrounds, there will be more innovative thought, more innovative solutions to incredibly complex and complicated problems that are facing the national security apparatus today." And a lack of innovative thought is exactly why DOD has failed to replace its antiquated and much maligned travel management system, related also, I might add, to its IT platforms. In 2017, the Department began the effort to replace its legacy travel system, which has been plagued by high levels of improper payments. Eventually, DOD selected Concur Technologies to develop a prototype of a new travel management system. Based on the information available to us, it appears that the initial prototype and trial phase of DOD's new travel system showed promise. In fact, in 2021, after the prototype was, quote, deemed successful, unquote, DOD awarded Concur a 7-year sole source contract to implement a commercial software as a service program known as MyTravel. Last fall, the Undersecretary of Defense for Personnel and Readiness issued a memorandum mandating the use of the new system. But at the last minute, DOD pulled back. A few weeks ago, DOD rescinded the memo mandating the use of MyTravel and canceled the sole source contract for the build-out of the system. In short, DOD hired a contractor who delivered a functional product. But because the individual military services failed to uphold the commitments they previously had made to alter their financial management infrastructure, which is, as the Chair indicated in our last hearing, a mess, with over 400 individual financial management systems in the Pentagon. What could go wrong with that? The new tool thus remained incompatible with their multiplicity system. It's unbelievable that DOD continues to use the financial management infrastructure that was criticized, as I said in our last hearing, which contains more than 400 unique financial systems operating across 10,000 disaggregated data management systems and 4,700 data warehouses. While auditability is an important priority, DOD's focus on compliance with legal auditing requirements does not address the issues caused by the antiquated IT and travel systems. Until IT systems are modernized, which is why I fully support a hearing on the FATARA scorecard so that we can continue to press for updates and modernization investments, passing an audit will not just be difficult, but impossible. And if we pan back, we also see DOD has a history of resistance against basic oversight despite being given a litany of exemptions from fundamental management requirements and possessing the largest single budget in human history. For example, we appreciate Mr. John Sherman coming to our subcommittee last year to testify on Federal Information Technology Acquisition Reform Act, FATARA, a law I helped co-author, to improve agencies' management of IT resources and drive best practices. However, it's concerning that DOD is exempted from certain provisions within that law and is still only achieving a C on the scorecard. As a reminder, these grades are not scarlet letters, but they do emphasize the need for agencies to take IT modernization seriously. And today's subject at today's hearing is illustrative of that. Furthermore, DOD must meet its mission to protect national security without sacrificing common sense good governance practices. DOD must justify the exemptions they want to retain through demonstrated responsible outcomes. Can't have it both ways. DOD spends billions and billions of taxpayer dollars every year, for which they need to account. This fundamental activity, the basics of clean bookkeeping, will not occur unless DOD can first meet integral good governance management standards that lay the building blocks for serving this nation effectively. Among those fundamentals is replacing ineffective legacy IT systems with up-to-date, contemporary, nimble systems that concurrently reduce fraud and enhance customer service. Congress must get this nearly decade-long effort to modernize DOD's travel system back on track to address the agency's hundreds of millions of dollars of improper payments every year, or continue to risk not only travel convenience, but military readiness. I yield back.